For today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a standalone Java application. There are 4 steps required in doing this. The first step is to organize the source code. Copy the project package file into a folder called src. Compile the source to run on a Java virtual machine. Create the application, which combines all the application class libraries and resources into one archived file. Create a custom Java runtime environment for standalone applications. We do this by checking the dependencies on the application, so all the actual modules that are required to run that application first. Then we create the custom JRE environment using jlink, which combine all the modules into one to run the application. Okay, let's get started. The first JavaFX application that we're going to create as a standalone is just simply going to be a simple Hello World application. To demonstrate, basically you just press the button and it'll print the message Hello World. Now to organize these files, all we need to do is copy the package name into the src folder that will create all our source files from. First step, organize the source files. Locate where your package is stored under your particular IDE. In my situation, I'm using NetBeans. It's stored under actually src, and you can see here all my actual files underneath the package name. I'm going to create an actual folder on the desktop to create a standalone application with. And I'll call this, of course, Hello World. Drag over the src folder. Now we have the start of an actual standalone application. Compile the source to run on the Java virtual machine. The rest of this process will be done by the command prompt. In the folder you just created for your application to reside in, type in cmd to get to the command prompt within that directory. This will bring up your command prompt. First we need to compile your Java source code. Use the command javac. Give it the module path, which is the path to a JavaFX that we installed. If you're unsure how to do this, please watch my videos on how to install JavaFX. Add the modules that we require from JavaFX, and then give it the actual source folder for the actual Java files. This is then compiled for Java runtime into a folder called classes. You can see now that we have a folder named classes. There's one more file we need to copy over. You can either do this from the command prompt or you can simply drag and drop it. Is the actual fxml file itself. I'll copy this and we need to paste this into our classes package folder. Or you could do this from the command prompt. Simply use the copy command. This will ask me to replace the file because I've already dragged and dropped it. Create the application. Combine all the class libraries and all the resources needed into an archived file. To do this, we need to create a folder for the jar file to reside in. We'll make a directory called app. Now we're going to use the jar command to create our actual helloworld.jar application, giving it the actual file name underneath the actual folder we just created, stipulating the main class, which is very important, which is first of all the package name, dot, and then the main class name itself. And then giving it to where the actual classes are found in the classes file, are compiled actual classes, and then making sure you got a space and then a dot at the end. Now this is created our actual jar file. To run this file, we simply use the Java command, including the JavaFX module paths that are required to run JavaFX, -jar to run our application.jar file to demonstrate. And there you can see we've got an application running. Press the button, prints out hello world. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and subscribe on my website if you'd like to receive all the code from all the other projects. Create Custom JRE. We're going to create a Java runtime environment for a standalone application to run on. First of all, we need to check the Java class dependencies using jdeps, and then we'll actually create the JRE file using jlink. Now we use jdeps to check the dependencies of our modules for our application. Now we'll use jdeps -s, giving it the module path once again for JavaFX, and then checking our hello-world.jar file that we created. This will give us a list of all the modules that are required to be included in a custom JRE to run our standalone application from. Now that we've got a summary of all the modules that we need to include in our custom JRE, we're going to use the command called jlink to create this custom JRE to run our standalone application on. We give it the module path for the JavaFX modules. We add in the modules that are required, which is listed here from a summary. We give it the java.base and the JavaFX modules that are required. And then we give it an output folder, which will be for our custom JRE to reside in. Now we can check our actual custom JRE to see if those modules are there, simply by using the Java command, which is contained in our custom JRE, to list all the modules that are included. You can see here we've got the java.base. These other Java modules here are actually included in the java.base. And then we've got the JavaFX.base, including these modules that are included in the JavaFX.base. To run the application, we simply use the custom JRE that we created. Now you noticed here with this command that this time we don't need to include the modules that are required for JavaFX, because we created a custom JRE which includes all these modules. We simply just need to call the actual application itself. And here's the application running. Now what we need to do is create a batch file and insert this command in here. So all you need to do is just double click on this batch file and your application will run. We'll use from the command prompt the copy con, and we'll actually call this, of course, hello world.bat, and simply include that command line to actually run our actual independent application, and then hit the Control-C. Now that's created a file for us called hello-world.bat. Now to run our application, we simply type in the name of the application. Now we've got a standalone application that won't require Java installed on the machine. To make this an application, all you need for this application to run is simply your JRE folder and your application folder and the batch file that we've actually created. So if we delete these others and then run our application again, we have a standalone application. And you'll see, if I go to properties, this application only takes up 90 megabytes, including Java. Original installation of Java by itself is around about 300 megabytes. Now I suggest that what you do with all these commands that we've been entering is that you actually create a batch file for each one.